so good at this. Steve's been yelling at us because we're not doing it right, but it's okay.
Steve, you're going to cue us when we do intro, right?
Was I supposed to do
No.
1, 2, 3? You're live.
We're live. That's what I was saying, right? But it's okay.
Hi, welcome to the Sims 4 Discover University live stream. I'm Sim Guru Stephanie. This is Sim Guru Azure and Sim Guru Rad, and we're here to kind of walk you through the game.
Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna do is obviously you have to enroll, right?
Yeah.
So, this sim, does she already have her?
Yes.
Okay, so you will.
Actually, through the computer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There.
Sorry, we're so
There you
good at
go.
this. We play just like you guys. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so when you want to go to school, you can use the computer, or you can use the mailbox, and there's this cool new button for university. You can apply, you can check out scholarships. This sim is already applied, and so what we're gonna do is we're gonna check on our application. If this person would get off my computer. Rude.
So to touch a little bit on scholarships, there's different types of scholarships you can apply for. There's merit scholarship, where you live scholarship, so the world that you live in, need scholarship if your family doesn't have money, and also skill-based scholarships. So if your Sims already have skills and they look through what kind of scholarships are available, so they may be more available to them if they have those.
Okay. So,
Checking her application process.
look at this. We got accepted.
Yay!
So, for acceptance, we have two universities. We have University of Britechester or Foxbury Institute. And all of the degrees are available at both universities. What is different about the universities is that some of them have like better degrees, which get you better rewards once you go into jobs afterwards. So as you can see, we're actually a really well-skilled sim. So we're accepted into quite a few of the distinguished degrees in both universities. So we've got that acceptance letter, and slow down, stop eating. And then now we will go to university and we will need to enroll. I play in a fast forward a lot.
I never play fast forward.
Never?
I want complete control.
Azure plays
I
a
play-
lot more
I
by
play
herself.
fast forward.
I'm more of a builder and stuff like that. Okay, so here's where you get to choose your university. You can go to Foxbury or Britechester. So then is our degree selection. Did we decide what we wanted to put her into?
I think she'd be really good in writing, maybe.
Writing. Okay, so
think
we've
she
got
could do that.
languages and literature. And in this, you can see what the benefits of these degrees are and what specific careers that they add to. You have up to 4 classes and an elective. If we do 3 classes and an elective, and then you decide that you want to go to 4 classes, you will lose your elective. You can only have 4 classes max.
Becca, can you explain a little bit more about what an elective class for some folks that aren't familiar?
So this is something that we didn't realize was so
American.
American. Elective classes are fun classes. So, my person is a writer, but maybe they want to learn how to make drinks. So, mixed ability mixology. These are really interesting names, and I don't know what they all are. So, Pride in Prepositions is amazing. Okay, so we're going to go crazy. We're going to do 4 classes our first semester.
An interesting semester, an interesting term.
So next is your housing selection. You can stay at your home lot. You can move off campus to another lot. So if you want to go and you have city living and you want to go live in an apartment or something. Or we have university housing. And in university housing, these are a new type of venue, and these are specific to university. So we are going to choose this Drake Hall, and we will show you what some of more of the other options are later. And then you have 2 options for paying for your school. Is you can pay with your household funds, or if you don't have enough, you can pay with a student loan. I'm going to do this just because it's fun.
Yeah. I mean, along with scholarships and loans, we're trying to give players more options to be able to play and afford at university.
Yeah. And so then this takes you into this split and merge. You won't actually be able to move anybody else at this time, but if you do say they had no money on this half, we could, you know, then add 50,000 simoleons and say, there you go, that's enough money for you to go to university with.
Very generous.
I'm generous? Oh. I mean, that really depends on what you want to do. If you're like a parent and you're like, nope, you gotta work your way through school.
Yes. You can tell all kinds of stories.
Yeah.
Go
One
ahead.
of those things is that you can work a job while going to school, but you will not, it won't stop your classes from being at the same time. So
Yes.
be careful.
They'll have to, your Sims will have to manage their schedule. They might have to miss work to go to school or vice versa.
Okay, so this is one of our dorms on campus. It is on a penthouse lot, and we have pre-built these because one of the things about university housing is that while active Sims are living there, you will not be able to enter Build By. And that is just because it's kind of a storytelling thing. I mean, I wouldn't be able to go paint the walls at my university housing. That would be kind of madness. But so here we want to kind of show you that that is a locked thing. If you really do want to do it, the cheat that allows you to enter Build By on locked lots will work here. So just so you know, and that is the bb.enable free build.
It's also really hot in this room, so this is the part where we're definitely going to take off these graduation robes.
And Azure and I are like kind of matching, which is fun because we love the new outfits that are coming in this pack. Okay, so in university housing, you will see that there are a lot of people here, and many of these are going to be your roommates. So we have a new system called Roommates, and those, for university housing, those Sims come in and are just populated based on the number of beds in your lot. There is a maximum amount of, 10 Sims total, which includes your Sims, so you can have up to 9 roommates. And we also have a cool bed claiming. So if you see, if I hover, this bed has been claimed by this roommate. But if I want to go through and I want to assign beds and say, I want this bed, I just give that bed to myself. One of the really good things to do in this area is to actually, not that one, that button, is if I want to say, hey, only myself, that's not myself. Wrong button. Lock door for everyone but myself. And then let's see who my roommate is. Oh, I don't have a roommate.
Not yet.
You can pick one.
Okay, here, let's see. Assign bed to, let's bring her in, and then unlock for this Sim. And then that way, only my Sim and that Sim can come into our room. We've got a common area with one single computer and a little bit of room if you need to do your homework. So, as I said, these are locked lots. But how do you kind of get to put your own personality here? We have a few new live drag objects, so like this poster. I can say, oh, I don't want that poster, that can go over there. And I can go buy new objects from our university kiosk. There are 2 of these in each of the university neighborhoods. So I want to buy university items. And I'm gonna make her run over here.
Yeah. I know some of you guys mentioned what you're seeing at the dorms. We did do bathroom stalls as well as shower
Oh,
stalls.
sorry.
No worries.
It's-
People are getting excited about it, so I'm just going to confirm that's there.
That's old news to us. So, in this, you have your books that you can do, any of the books that you want. So if I am languages and literature, I can buy a book here to help myself. If you lose your homework at any point, you can buy it from a bookcase or you can buy it from here.
Pro tip.
It happens. These are some cool rugs. So I'm gonna take a rug, I'm gonna take a
I
lamp.
like the Pixel one.
Oh, which one?
The
Oh.
blue.
Oh, the rug. Sorry. And then I'm going to buy a few things so that I can close off my side of the room. And then a cute little plant and more cute plants. Posters and pennants and little mirrors. So there's...
Pal.
Huh?
Let's get a porta pal.
Okay.
Sorry.
I mean, we do have a lot of money, so I don't mind spending it all. Now, what's in here is not all of what's in the catalog of build, but because we didn't want to explode this too much, so we just tried to keep it a little bit. And there's a bicycle, so we're just gonna buy one of those and we'll play with it a little bit later. Soccer ball, and a mini fridge, and this cool chest, and this computer, and man, school costs a lot. Oh wait,
you got two mini fridges.
I don't need another mini fridge. Ooh, juice cake, and a microwave. Okay, so now that I've bought all that stuff, I can come back up here to my room, and let's.
You're on speed 3.
Oh no, speed 3. Okay. Let us see what we've got. Now we can pause and do this too. So I got little plants and my computer and let's see, the lamp, the rug, and the mini fridge. And so the mini fridge will allow you to put a few objects on top. I believe mostly the microwave and the coffee maker are like your key ones, but you know, if I wanted to, let's put the mini fridge back for a moment. If I want to put, you know, this little decoration on top, I can also do that. But, you know, I always had, in college, I had a mini fridge with a microwave, so that's what I'm going to do. And then this cool chest, although I'm kind of ran out of room, so let us, don't forget that your caret keys will let you rotate in this mode. If you need it, that is how you do it. Let's see, nope, not enough room. Man. Rooms are tiny. Let's see, can we get it in here?
Just like
aha! There we go. Okay, so the cool thing about this chest is that it's actually an individual inventory, so I can put all of my stuff in here. And you can also put some things on top.
Now, Rebecca, is that like an individual inventory?
Yeah, so these are unique to each individual chest. So if you want a chest for each of your Sims, you will be able to buy one and use it. And what you can do is, what's my name, Chloe? Mm-hmm. Set label, Chloe. Oh, okay. I can type. Chloe's. I can not spell. Stuffs. Or is that with a Z? No. Stuffs. I'm weird. Don't mind me. Okay. So now you can see that we've decorated out this room a little bit with stuff that I like. And one...
I have a question. What is also available in terms of what you can get from the mini fridge?
Ooh, mini fridge. Okay, so the mini fridge in general will work like a regular fridge. There are some limitations on university housing lots because you don't have a kitchen. So if we look at this, you can make microwave meals because I have a microwave. We did add a few items such as pizza rolls and instant noodles, and I believe I added a burrito, but I don't know if it's a burrito. But so instant noodles, college staple, can't go wrong, right? Oh, she was trying to ride around her bike. So that's all of our cool stuff to start with. One other thing that we did add is that the laptops now have some, let's see if I can remember where it is. No, I think it's household.
Computer security settings?
Oh, there. Thank you. Sorry. Computer security settings. So like the doors, you can now lock the computer for everyone but my sim. Only my sim can use this. Yeah. So.
In terms of other places to eat, I know you mentioned there's no kitchen here. If you don't have a mini fridge, where else can you eat?
So we have, let me turn us around, and we are going to load over into this lot. So we have two other new venues, which are our Ubright Commons and Foxbury Commons. Ubright is our abbreviation for University of Brightchester. You will see that sometimes in places. Because University of Brightchester is really fancy, but we're cool kids now, right?
Yes.
Maybe. Okay.
We didn't really talk about the layout of the world, but as Rebecca went through enrollment, there are 2 universities that you can choose from. There are 2 different neighborhoods, and we also have a third neighborhood, which is the town. you can go to where the library and the bar is at, if you kind of just want to step away from the campus.
And I saw that someone asked if you had a full rotation of seasons at the universities, and if you have seasons, yes, you do.
We do not have seasons currently installed.
We do not.
Okay, so this is our cafeteria station. When... Okay, we're waiting for people to appear. So currently it's closed, and you will get Sims that come in and come to staff it, and it'll only be open at certain times of the day. So you have to pay attention, and you have to see when food is there. You can get water, and you can order food, and there's a little prank, you know. I like this one a lot, actually.
Spice.
I named that one because I thought it was adorable. We'll just add a little spice. Okay, so stop doing your homework. It's not important right now. Obviously, I was an awful student.
You know, one of the biggest beats that we were trying to get with university is like the balance and the whole experience of university. So going to class, making sure you feed and take care of your Sims, as well as like their social life. So you'll see a lot of this throughout the playthrough.
Okay, and from here you will be able to order. There's specific menus for each day of the week, and then there's specific menus for breakfast, lunch, dinner. So I'm gonna get a grilled cheese because, you know, that feels appropriate.
So commons do have hours, right? What happens if it's closed and you still need to eat?
There's a microwave.
There's microwaves. Sometimes there's stalls too, right? Out in the...
Yeah. So there is a food stall out here that has, it's like a coffee cart, so you can get quick little, let's see, what food? To-go food. So sweetbread, scone, cinnamon rolls, chocolate croissant, those type of things that you might get in the morning with your coffee. So, the student commons will also have other people hanging out. There's a debate practice in here. There's some like poetry readings over here, and there's just a lot of little things. You can hang out in here, do your homework. There are some fancy research machines, and these will let you study and research for your classes.
There's also other events, right, that happen at the commons? There's like cram sessions.
Yeah, so those are a little more down low, and they're just kind of like how you watch how people react. So a lot of times people will be studying really hard, or they'll be goofing off, and you should be able to see that through the through the other Sims themselves. I can talk. Okay, what day is it? We're still on Saturday?
Yes, we are still on Saturday.
So this is, let me get us into some of our cool views.
Looks like someone pranked the Brightchester statue in the middle of
I'm really sad about that, so maybe we'll go clean that off. And then here's another awesome view of our campus. So, gotta be careful. Tab mode is a little dangerous. This building over here is actually our school's sports area. So on some days there'll be soccer, and so this tells you what the schedule is. If you want to have soccer here in New Bright, you'll go on Saturday at 6, and esports will be Fridays at 6. So we can put up some banners, we can join a sports team. I'm not going to do that right now, but that's where you want to do it.
There's Larry!
Oh, Larry the lobster!
Wait a minute. This is the wrong school for Larry.
What is he
coming
doing?
over to prank?
Oh, he might be coming over here because this is Darby. This is our school's mascot. And we're just being awesome because it's the soccer day today at our school.
But Larry's creeping.
Larry's starting some trouble.
They like to be mean. So,
Just a little friendly rivalry here.
I don't know. I don't think we have enough rivalry between the three of us. Is the problem? Maybe we should have gotten
very
someone
friendly.
Oh no! So
I'm sure Larry
they
had
don't
a very
like
good
each
reason.
other. Oh, and as you see, one of the fun things is that like sometimes when they get in a fight, they lose their heads. Yeah. Pump up Brightchester. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna pull a question. Are the classes rabbit holes or active? The classes are rabbit hole. What'd you say?
Oh, nothing. Sorry, I got
The
distracted.
classes are rabbit hole. The reason that is what we're trying to do is like the experience. So we're trying to pull a lot of the activities outside. So when you are going to university, you go to your classes, you study. There's an end of term requirement, whether it's a presentation, an exam, or a paper, as well as kind of other things you need to do to study for your classes. The rabbit holes also have office hours and like skill classes you can go to and guest lectures. I know progression, which we'll talk a little bit more when we kind of get into robotics. They kind of unlock other opportunities there as well.
Yeah. So sitting on classes, you can sit on anything. This is kind of like having that elective, but you only go to one class. So if I want to get some rocket science skill, I can just sit in on this class. After my sim goes to the restroom, I would like her
But
to
you
ride
won't
around.
get credit for classes that you sit in on. It's just visiting, kind of like auditing.
Okay, ride bike around. Let's see if we can do this.
Some questions about bikes. Can you ride bikes in the other worlds that we've created? The answer is yes.
Where'd she go? Oh no, it's gonna be bad, isn't it? She's got to be a little smarter about this.
She rides a bike like me.
That's pretty good for tight spaces.
Yeah. So we're just gonna follow her around for a bit.
She's going to give us a little tour of Brightchester. A little more about roommates too. So you do have roommates when you move into university housing. The game gives you roommates. Roommates have their own quirks. Some of them are really helpful. Others are really messy and annoying. You also, if you live off-lot in any of the worlds, you can place an ad on the computer or your phone to get roommates in your regular residential homes. And it's super great because right around bill time, they give you a little money to help you out with those bills.
I mean, that's why you get roommates most of the time, right? Okay. So, let us see. What else? Trying to see if there was anything else we needed to
Can you visit here if you aren't going to university?
Yes. So, one of the biggest fears I think people have said is that not getting to visit here for university. But you can visit either university, you can visit the town that's in between them. No matter what, you can come here. And one of the fun things actually with these, sorry, I'm going the wrong way, these university kiosks is that we actually have some info. So in a way that you can do this is, you know, kind of a storytelling way is like, oh, I'm a student, you know, I'm a high school student. I want to know more about this. So this tells me about the scholarships, how terms work, how class grade works, and enrollment, and then organization events. So something like this is an organization. And this is, I can't use the URL.
Larry found his head.
That's good. So, well, I'm going to cancel this and just show you guys myself. But there are organizations for each university. So Brightchester Spirit Corps, which is going on right now. There's an art society, and there's a debate guild. This is the one that we were saying, you know, they practice sometimes in the commons. And then if you're going to Foxbury, we have the Bot Savants, the Foxbury Spirit Squad, and the Brainiacs. So what you want to do, as you can see over here, is that if you're not part of anything, you can go to people that are part of this and say, you know, start introducing yourself and asking more about how to be an organization member. I like fast forwarding.
You like the face paint.
Yes.
I mean, it's very
Cool.
fun. Will you stop riding around? It's not that cool. It's very cool. I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh no, the event ended.
The event is over.
Okay, so
We're supposed
when...
to graffiti.
Huh? Oh, right. Okay. We're trying to do too much, aren't we?
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
She's jumping into school.
As you just mentioned earlier.
Yeah, let's clean up our statue. So there are ways that you can prank the other school's statue. There are ways that you can clean up, and there's also things like make offering for success. So I can, why not? Let's offer my food after
What does
I clean
that
it up.
mean? If you want to know more about making offerings, you can go to the research machine and kind of do some research there.
That's cool. So, people are really rude from Foxbury, and we need to clean this up. Sorry, I don't have a preferred school of choice, do I? Okay. Offering.
What are the other pranks that you can do?
On the statues. So we have a yarn bomb, we have a toilet paper, and we have deface. And
Which is what you just saw.
each statue is different, so they look a little bit different. I'm not going to do any of that to my own. I mean, come on.
Fair.
Fair. Okay. It is about time that you should go to sleep because I want it to be morning. That is not my house, is it? Wait, no, this is my house, isn't it? You know what? Just go home. They look the same. I'm sorry. You're probably gonna get confused, but I also think that's realistic because I would always, like, we had duplicate dorms everywhere at my school. Like, we had one that had the food and was like the main dorm, and then we had two side-by-side ones over there, and the ones that I lived in were two side-by-side ones that looked identical. So it's realistic. You're gonna forget where you live for a while. So is there anything else that we want to talk about in this area? I guess actually we have the shower stalls. We can talk about those. So we have toilet stalls and a wall shower. And these are fun things. Obviously, a lot of people have been asking for these. So we do have two types of stalls, and one is this very, like, full-sized, no gaps. And then we kind of have another one that's over-exaggerated on the gaps because we think it's funny. Because everyone gets so mad at American toilet stalls because they have so much gap, so we kind of emphasized it. I'm gonna wake him up, prank the toilet. I don't know. And then
These are really helpful too when you're building dorms, just because they enable a lot of people, a lot of Sims to take care of their needs at the same time. So I think that they're really necessary for dorms.
Yeah. I don't know. I think one of the fun things about these is that then you can put them in maybe like a gym or something like
you
that.
want to build your own venue.
Yeah. And so there are some rules where like kids and teens like still won't use these around other people, but adults will stand side by side and use it. They might get a little embarrassed by the fact that, you know, they're very open and anyone can see it.
Someone
So-
asks if there's a
Ooh,
curtain.
someone's gonna use the toilet.
It's open.
Hold on, I need to see if this actually
There's
pranks
no
well.
Everyone's like, "Where's the curtain?"
Oh, you got splashed. It's gross.
I never did that in dorms.
Oh, that's so nasty.
I know it's broken.
So, as I mentioned earlier, these are penthouses, so we do have elevators to get up and down from. We have the trash chute, and we have a mailbox here, so that you can do your normal stuff that you would do. All of the lots in university housing can be changed to whatever you want that is available. So if you want to make this a commons instead of a dorm, you can do that.
Yeah.
You just have to make sure that nobody is currently living in them. And that means these active Sims that are down here in your play area, not the roommates. If there are roommates here, you'll be able to change it. But if you have any like made Sims, you will not be able to change
There's
it.
a couple of questions about maintenance. Like, as these things break, like, what happens? Does your sim have to go and do it?
So there are two things. There are roommates who like to fix up things. They like to clean, they like to fix up. Some actually end up breaking things, but, you know, that's besides the point. Or if you hire maintenance in a university housing, they will come and take care of it, and it won't be at any cost to you. There should be a maid that comes once a week at least, and will pick up. She'll only pick up some things, like she'll mostly clean things, but she won't necessarily pick up things. So you have to deal with your roommates being messy, being dirty, and that's just kind of for the fun of it. It might be a little annoying, but I mean, roommates are kind of annoying.
You know,
so.
it's a bit of a luck
It's a
game there.
balance.
Sometimes you'll get
Yeah.
roommates that are super helpful. They clean everything. They're wonderful. They cook amazing food, and it's great. And then other times, not so much.
Yeah. And one of the cool things about roommates at home is that you kind of get to pick them, right?
Yes. So when you are on a residential lot and you place an ad for a roommate, around 4 potential roommates will come to your house per day. And you, as the player, can direct your sim to choose which roommates come to live with them. You can also kick them out if you really dislike living with them.
We got toilet paper.
Yeah, I know. These people.
Foxbury is
So-
just on it.
I don't, it's just mean.
There's a couple questions about pets and and kids. So you can come and visit the campus when you have pets and kids, but you do have to live off campus.
So, as I said, you can change what any of these lots are here. So if you want to change a lot to a residential, you can have pets and kids on the neighborhood world. You cannot have them in university housing. And right now we have preset everything as university housing or our student commons. So with what we've started you with, you will not be able to, but if you choose to go and make it a residential, you'll be able to tell that story.
Are we going to go
So-
over to Foxbury soon, or was there
I was
still
gonna
something you
show
wanted to see at
off.
Bright
There
Chester?
should be an event happening, although, like, just so you know, our screen's a little cut off, so I can't actually see what time it is. But at 10 o'clock, there is an event happening here. Ooh, Steve's helping me.
9:30 p.m.
So I'm just kind of
almost
zooming
10.
forward.
Almost 10.
Should be at 10 o'clock on Sunday.
Noon?
Nope,
That
there
was
it is.
the other one.
Well, that's why we're trying to show off this one, because
Here we go.
So, the fun one down here is our modeling. So, if I want to figure paint, which is something new, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And I can come down here, and I've got a model for me in the park for this afternoon or morning. I don't know what time of day it is anymore.
Morning.
It's morning.
It's morning here, too.
So, I'm not that great at the painting, but
She'll get better.
You can improve your skills.
So there are lots of events like this that happen at both universities throughout the day. So even just leaving the house, there'll be plenty of opportunities for your Sims to meet other students and to make friends. That's a really big part of the experience.
and this is part of the Art Society, so if is that the correct name?
Yeah.
Art Society, yeah. So, if you do want to join the Art Society, you'll see that these are members of it, and again, we can try and make friends with those people. Okay, so now that we've seen a lot of Bright Chester, let us go to the world. And
So there's a lot of show us the map. So maybe
Well-
we'll just like pause for a little bit so
Yeah.
you guys can take a look at the
perfect
map.
timing. Yeah, we're trying to load as little as possible, so you'll hopefully forgive us. Okay, so this over here is Bright Chester, where we just were. There is our student commons, and then there is where we were living, the other dorms, and this is a smaller, like, cottage-style university housing. When you start the game, there are people living here. If you don't want to play with them, you'll want to go to the other one, or you can move them out before then. And that's just something that some people, I feel like, want to just, like, start, and they don't want to have to, like, work through this. These two are already, you know, in their classes, and they're ready to go as soon as you want to start playing. So over here is Foxbury, and we have our other two dorms, and again, one of our premates. And then we have our student commons and a cottage, which we'll show you. We've actually made it residential just to show off some things that you can't do in university housing. And then this is our town. We've got a library for you to go study at. We've got a pub, which is a university hangout. Things cost a little less there, more students. And then we've got 3 homes. We've got our starter home for you to move into if you want to move directly into this world, but not necessarily into student housing. And then we've got 2 families. We've actually pulled the Pleasants in from Sims 2, correct? And so they're twins. They're also already in university housing. I mean, in university, and they go to opposite schools. And so that's kind of the fun thing about them. And then we've got a little bit of an older family that's kind of, their stories like they grew up here and then the students all started coming in and they're like a little grumpy about it. And then they've got their teen that is, so this is their like grandson who's hanging out and living with them and preparing for school. So you've got a little bit of a way to, you know, different ways to experience this world.
Can you talk a little bit about the new lot traits this time?
So we have, as I said, we have 2 lot traits. So on the library, you'll see both of these. Study spot, which will get people to study. People will learn their skills faster. And also, like, when you're studying, you don't get as exhausted by it as fast. University student hangout, as I mentioned, it should bring in more students. It should, any food, drinks should cost less on that lot because obviously students hang out there because they hang out there because it's cheap. So those are the fun things that you can do with those.
I saw a question about if elders could attend university. Yes. Young adults, adults, and elders can all attend university.
Okay. And teens can just kind of prepare themselves for university. Okay.
They can do university visits, kind of like when you like are getting ready to like figure out what school you want to apply to and visit and find out information, like Rebecca said, in the kiosk and kind of just walk around.
Yeah, and you might see a few wandering teens going around the universities while you're there.
There was a question about whether you can get pregnant. You can if you're in university housing. You just may have to move because you're adding another sim.
It's, you know, it's also one of those things, like, storytelling wise, like, you know, we can't provide you all of the things that you need for your children, so it is better to find another place to live. Now, again, like we've done here, if you change it to residential and you still want to live on campus, you can, because we're here, and you will be able to do that and still go to university. You can go to university from anywhere.
Yeah.
And that is one of those things that, you know, if you want to stay at home with mom and dad, you can, and then come to university.
We also didn't make bunk beds this pack, which doesn't mean it's out of the question, but looking at kind of the different types of layouts in university in different areas of the world, bunk beds were less common, so we kind of chose to do the more normal layout.
You want to hang out, check out this out first?
We can. So at Foxbury, that is the university that has the distinguished science degrees. So all 3 of the Sims that we have living here are enrolled in a science major. And if we want to just pop over to, I don't think you have to travel at all. You just have to just swing over to...
Most of our events are.
What are the kind of things that we can do at the bot contest?
The bot contest, when you go, you'll basically see the bot savants. They are an organization that's all about robotics, and you'll see them showing off their different bots that they made. You'll see servos walking around, quadcopters, and you'll basically kind of get to see all of these bots that later, when we go back home, we'll show you how you can craft them.
So we have fixing bots. This one's a cleaning bot, I think,
There's
but
a
he's running
bot,
away from
there's
me.
a gardener bot, there's a fixer bot, there's a party bot. I'm missing one.
Sorry.
Nope, I think I got them all.
And there's some food for you.
And they help you out around the house. And then also Servo can do all of those things for you as well.
Servo. Okay. Come on.
If we go back home, we can show them how we activate Servo.
Oh, sure. Let us see. I'm going to...
So one thing, I don't know if we mentioned, when you go here and if you've built your own bot, you can enter them into the contest as well.
Okay, so who would you like me to activate?
Actually, the first sim down there, she's the one who built him, Aubrey. And then, so I've already pre-built this servo bot. It's kind of the top tier reward for the robotics skill. And as you progress through the robotics skill, you'll be able to make all kinds of things on this robotics table. If you want to click on it, you can go ahead and activate Servo. And you can make materials to make different bots and toys. You can make materials to make cybernetics on the, or like tech wearables on the, yes.
Activate. Do you want it to be?
Either one.
Female.
Whichever one you want.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That has been chosen.
And then you can take all of the things that you make on the robotics table and actually make bots and all kinds of other things as well. And again, Servo is something that you unlock at the top of the skill. There's also a new career, an engineer career with 2 different branches, a mechanical branch and a computer engineer branch. And they have special rewards that you can only unlock to create on the robotics table through progressing in the career. So that's Servo. When you activate Servo, Servo is added to your household. So Servo is a sim. You can change Servo's name. You can, if you click on Servo, you can change Servo's appearance. Actually, can you select and play as Servo and then click on them?
Okay.
So, popular question, can you woohoo with Servo?
You can
The answer
woohoo
is
with
yes.
Servo.
Okay.
That's what you want to do.
But Servos cannot procreate.
Modify.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what would you like to do first?
So here is where you can, servos come with their own personalities and their own traits, but you can also reprogram them to be what you want them to be. You can also rename Servobot. Every servo comes with the name Servobot, but you can name them whatever you would like. Let's see. Alyssa is a great name. Matilda also.
I love Matilda. It's like one of my favorite books.
Mm-hmm. Mila, let's go with that one.
Mila. I don't know. What's a cool like engineering?
0100.
Perfect.
I don't know what it'd actually be saying, so I'd be terrified.
Can you
of
click
doing
on servo again?
that.
And this is also the way that you can click on the servo, and then let's see,
Hover mode.
modify Mila Electric, and then change appearance.
Okay.
So this is where you can choose what you want servo to look like. Golden brown is my favorite.
I was just thinking I was like
Fancy.
gold.
Ooh, there we go.
Where are you, Servo?
She looks
Or
very
Mila.
fancy. I like that.
Ah.
One thing about servo, you're gonna want to watch having servo take showers. You're gonna want to watch out for servo in the bathtub, servo in the rain, servo swimming. Servos and water do not mix, so there should be a sim who can repair servo if servo gets in trouble like that.
Okay, cool. So, what else do you want to show off around here?
There are a bunch of other things in this household that I've already set up. One of my favorites is actually that mechanical suit right there.
Okay.
Maybe we can have him go and put that on.
Equip.
So the Exomech suit is actually a reward from the mechanical branch of the engineering career. And so Sims can put it on, and then if you want to click on him and do enable engage hover mode.
Fancy.
Azure, while we wait, can you talk a little bit more about the engineering career?
Absolutely. So the engineering career is a new career in Discover University. You do not have to go all the way through university to join the career. You can join the career right away if you would like to. Although if you do the computer engineering or the physics degrees, that will give you certain boosts when you're joining the engineering career. In the engineering career, one branch is a computer engineer. You're going to want to learn programming. You're going to want to up your robotics skill. In the mechanical career, you're going to want to have handiness and robotics skill. And both of them kind of enable you to make all kinds of cool stuff on the robotics table. We have the Utilibots, we have toys like little chatterbots that you can give to children that look like little toy robots, quadcopters that Sims can fly around and are fun, and then of course the utility bots. The party bot is my favorite.
I know, it seems like the most appropriate.
When you activate the party bot, it'll play music, Sims around it will dance. You can also get food from the party bot, it's pretty cool. The gardening bot is super super useful. If you have a huge garden and your Sims really don't have time to maintain it, the gardening bot will actually go around and it will weed, water, like basically take care of your garden, and the only thing that your Sims will have to do is harvest the fruits of its labor. And then the fixer bot is great. It just goes around and tries to fix everything that your Sims break in the house. And the cleaner bot does the same thing, but for cleaning everything that your Sims made dirty. One pro tip, if you have seasons and it's raining, find your bots and turn them off, because water does not mix with the utility bots either.
Okay. So.
Let's see if we can actually get our fellow here, I forget what I named him, but let's see if we can get him to walk around so that we can see that hover mode happen.
Two other careers, the new careers that we're not diving into, is law career, which has two branches, the judge branch and private lawyer, and then also education, which you can become a professor or you do the administrative track.
I love hover mode. It's one of my favorite things. We actually made hover mode for Servo. You can engage hover mode on Servo and then it will basically change their walk style so that they'll hover everywhere. But I'm really glad that we put it on the mechanical, the exomech suit as well, so that your Sims have the opportunity to hover around.
Yeah.
The exomech suit has two pieces. It has a suit and then it also has a helmet. The helmet will allow you to do some special things. Servo has the ability to scan for a Sim's traits and also to scan for their mood. When you have the exomech helmet, you can do the same thing. The same thing with the computer glasses, which are a reward for being a computer engineer.
Cool.
There are lots of things that you can make on the robotics table. Kind of as your Sim is progressing bit by bit, we unlock various things that can help them around the house that will really, I think, make gameplay like really fun for players.
And Azure, can you talk a little bit about the career experience?
Mm-hmm. When you're starting off as an engineer, you're kind of starting off as an intern. You're learning about robotics. The career will push you towards learning about robotics, learning about handiness, learning about programming. And then as you progress, you gain more and more skill in those things, and all the way up to being an expert engineer, an expert mechanical and computer engineer.
Cool.
Let's see, what else did I want to talk about in terms of, can we go back downstairs?
Yeah.
There is also, let's see, maybe we can order some food from that party bot. One thing about servos, they don't need food. They don't need to drink anything. They will run out of battery, and usually when that happens, you can tell them to recharge themselves, or they'll just like kind of stop where they are and recharge themselves. Servos also have a new, oh, there it is, pancakes.
Do I just grab it or?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
That's so funny.
Okay. He's bouncing a lot, so number.
Can we show Servos commodities?
Dun, 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 if I can remember.
So Servo has different needs than humans have. You'll see that there's durability and charge. So charge is what I was talking about before. Servo will need to recharge himself or herself every so often. Durability is new in that servos kind of wear down after a while. This is something where Servo needs someone else in the house to help them out. They will need a tune-up every once in a while, and Sims with robotic skill can help servos do that.
And robotic skill is one thing that's new to the pack. There is a second skill that's new, which is the research and debate skill.
Wanted to show off something.
There's
but he's
also
hanging
a
out too
whole
much.
enhancement system for bots. So because, as you can see, our cleaner bot is kind of having a bit of a tough time. If you look, cleaner bot has a big red kind of light on it. Can you hover over for a second? So you can see that the battery is low at 16%, and also the durability is kind of in the middle. So what'll happen is that Servo will need to be placed back on the workstation so that a sim, or I mean not servo, but that Utilibot will need to be placed back on the workstation so that a sim can give it a tune-up and a bit of a repair. There's an enhancement system for both the Utilibots and the servos, where if your sim enhances them or if servos self-enhances themselves, things like battery life and durability will actually wear down at a slower rate. So it'll make it easier as the player goes by if they do enhance servo and the bots.
Azure, do you know if teens can build robots?
Teens can gain robotic skill and build robots, yes.
Okay. There's a fun little discuss important robot things, and I need to know what this is. So we're gonna watch.
Oh, I love servo.
I think he's trying to kill us.
They're plotting something.
And Andrea, as you're building these robots, can you like make a business out of it if you have retail?
Absolutely. You can sell all kinds of robots. You can actually, when you're building a Utilibot or a servo and you finished, you actually can sell them right away for money, kind of like paintings. Or you can actually create like your whole retail experience where you set up your bots and you're like